we're talking. Listen, he's going to be talking about that Epstein stuff. Cash Patel and them, they think they're so slick. Coming over and lying to us. Let's see what they got to say.
Donald Trump promised, and his administration promised, that if they find anything when they get elected, they're going to release everything.
Yeah.
Everything on JFK, everything on Epstein, which a lot of people want to see because
Yeah.
they want to see these predators brought to justice, right? So Cash Patel gets in, spends time, says, I'm reviewing the files. When I get back to you, I'll let you guys know what I find. Comes out with a press conference, him and someone else, and they're basically like, we watched the footage, Epstein killed himself. And there's
What
no
footage?
videos of, the kids.
That's not what we want to know.
What footage? No.
It's on the goddamn list.
No.
He gets on Joe Rogan, gets asked questions. Can you play that clip? We're going to watch it because I think it's...
Listen, but what footage? They said there was no footage. They literally told us there was no footage. They were all wiped, and the guards were asleep.
Now, let's just play.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
What?
You're so happy with this one. You're going to end up in a Nick Fuentes compilation.
Let's just get to it because I know it's on people's minds. Epstein.
If you're going to lie to me, just make it fast. You know what I'm saying? Don't, not regular speed, just fast forward that bitch. All right, here we go.
The reason people are pissed off about that.
Let's see. These guys.
I didn't realize
They're in good moods,
for
at
it to
least.
be sped up.
Keep it.
It's the same thing, right? 20 years ago, or whenever it was, 2006, 7, 8, Epstein gets his sweetheart plea deal, right? After committing the most horrific crimes on planet Earth, right? I wasn't...
Yeah, look. He got to go to jail and leave in the daytime. Who does that? How many other deals are like that? That's wild. Let's keep going. We all know these things.
I wasn't in power there. I wasn't in place there. I had, nothing to do with it. But people were rightfully pissed. I mean, this guy was committing the most grotesque acts you can against children.
Yeah.
It is so crazy that he has this high-pitched voice and he's talking about diddling kids.
I know.
Very fitting.
Oh, that's
So
what
when you
made
peel
you
back
laugh.
the layer, and then what happened? The Trump administration, the last go-round, decided, no, we're not going to let that go. We're going to investigate it. I've said it. Dan Bongino said it. We've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release.
What do you
killed
mean?
himself.
What do you mean?
Think? Let's play out the lot.
Guys, it's been years and years. What do you mean as much as we can release? What do you mean as much as we can release? We haven't released anything.
Logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's growth?
Yes.
You went from Cash Patel-
No. He's in charge of the FBI. It's literally his job. The FBI was running that stuff, and I mean, maybe I don't want to say too much. There's rumors that he went into witness protection, and he's still around. And it was the FBI who did it. And since he's in charge, you can't tear down. I know they say that they're going to tear down the system, but they won't do that.
The pennies Patel with that shit.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody, right or left, who looks at this and thinks like,
Empower your students
Hey,
to be
come
more authentic,
on.
impactful writers with Grammarly's
See?
comprehensive AI writing
That's happened to all of us.
oh yeah, I just believe you.
Yeah, nobody believes you.
No one's ever covered.
Yeah.
People
You guys really
haven't
think I would do
covered
that?
anything up in the past. First of all, Cash Patel sounds like the hottest drill rapper out of Brampton.
Oh yeah, these guys. Cash
Or
Patel.
do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we have evidence to prosecute people on?
Yeah.
But the problem is there's been 15 years of people coming in and creating fictions about this that doesn't exist. Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you
Yeah.
if it existed?
Yes. I'm glad they
This man
agree.
sounds like all my ex-boyfriends.
You really think I would do that? Come on.
Well, through the administration, there is hundreds of videos with different victims, and they're on video being basically diddled. They're saying do you think we wouldn't prosecute people if we had the evidence? It's well, you guys have the
It's
videos.
been
You know you
happening.
do because you've said
It's
it
been
yourselves.
happening.
1, 2. I think only one person has been charged formally.
Who?
Epstein
Ghislaine.
and Ghislaine Maxwell. That's it. I actually looked it up. I'm like, who else? Even the whole Prince.
Who else?
Prince was
No,
it
it was
Edward?
it was a lot. It was him. It was that. Not only, they're just a piece of the pie. It's so much stuff going on. Wasn't there the Abercrombie and Fitch guy? Wasn't there the Abercrombie and Fitch guy? And all of a sudden he freaking I can look that up. I'll add it to a video I'll post on YouTube or something. But yeah, he was like all his little male models and stuff. He was like making them do stuff to do it. Like that's obviously industry secrets that are not so secret, but that's what was going on.
Andrew, he's never been charged with a crime.
No.
They threw that woman right under the bus. They're like, Ghislaine, au revoir.
This is what they did. They Andrew 4K.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, you these kids.
You're not gonna be a prince no more. You're gonna be a duke.
And they're like, where would you like
Yeah.
to retire? And that's it. That's all that happened to him. So this idea that they would, I'm like, I haven't seen you guys go after anybody, even though there's, if you know who Pam Bondi is, she is Trump's attorney general. So she has access to a lot of this stuff, pretty much the highest in terms of the law from his administration. Can you play this video?
Logical play.
Oh, this is a good
If
one.
there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
You see?
And there are hundreds of victims.
There are hundreds
And
of victims.
No one
There's
victim will
so
ever
many
get
videos
released.
going
it's just
on.
The volume,
Look.
and that's what they're going through right now.
Look, that's literally contrary to what he just said, and he's supposed to be in charge of the FBI.
Tens of thousands of videos, nothing. To me, that's just a bit too crazy. Like tens of thousands of videos, a lot of people being diddled the entire time, and you're telling me no one's been charged from this.
What's up? Yeah, whenever you're ready, just let me know. Okay, well, I'm recording right now. I'm closer.
This entire thing. And we're still reviewing the tapes 7 years later. How much are you guys enjoying these tapes?
Nah. Exactly.
Like,
what you doing?
How long does it take you to review?
What you doing? I'm about to
Child
do
diddling.
a tape, bruh.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
listen, this is
That's what it is, though.
this is pressing. There's child diddlers everywhere. We're gonna review. We're gonna review every
Second.
What's your job? Whew. Reviewing tapes.
My arm's tired.
Poem.
You deserve this.
No, I legit had to pause for that one. Come on.
And you're gonna get
Come on.
it. After we review every crevice.
Every pause. Pause. No. No.
Moan,
Crannies.
every shadow. God, I love kids.
Literally, his argument is like, do you think we would? What? How is that an argument?
That's not an
like you
argument.
shoot somebody and they're like, did you do it? He's like, do you think me? And you're like, how is that a defense of?
And I'll detail the Epstein self-deletion in jail later, like when he took his own life, because the details of it are actually worth looking at. But there's so many things that are suspicious about it, and like just off the face of it, they want you to believe it's all incompetence, but it's a bit too bizarre in my opinion.
I'm working my ass off, along with the leadership at the Bureau of DOJ, to get you what we're allowed to give you. And you're going to get the video of the cell. And you're going to see for yourself. And we will never be convinced.
Wait. No,
Okay,
look.
let's get into
That's
that.
the problem. That's the problem. You're going to get the video of the cell. There was no video. That was the thing. There wasn't a video. The cameras were off. What do you mean? We're going to get the video.
So, what did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered? No. No suspicion at all of it?
I mean, you didn't even ask him that, Joe.
Right? So, I was a public defender back in the day. I used to spend a lot of time in jails and a lot of time in segregated housing units. And I've known people that have committed suicide in these cells. And I know how you get in, how you get out, who works the system. And so the way, based on public information at the time, that he ended up, the pictures and him hanging himself, I was like, man, that guy killed himself. There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and
What
not
do you
have
mean?
any video of it and not have any people come out and say, hey, yeah, I saw that guy, he shouldn't have been there, the guard.
Dude, they literally made up the craziest story ever. That, oh, this camera wasn't working, so we don't have it. Oh, what about that camera? Oh, that camera wasn't working either. Oh, what about the security guards? They're supposed to be walking by every now and then. They were both asleep. Like, it's the stupidest cover-up ever.
Or this guy, there's just no access points into places like this in the detention center he was in.
It's called a door.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
There's no access points. It's called a door.
But what I was told, what I'd read, was that the guards were not paying attention or were sleeping. Well, right? Yeah, and in short order, you'll see it. Is that correct? Well, it's hard to surmise that from a video, right? Like, where they like.
No, they had to legit make statements. What do you mean? It's hard to surmise that from a video. There was a whole investigation. We're not surmising this from just the video that you've yet to give us. It's the whole fucking thing. And they even admitted that. They themselves said that.
You know, and look.
Get this man's out of my face. They sound like fresh and fit trying to defend themselves.
Listen, yes. Yes.
I can't believe that.
Yes.
The timeline, the whole Epstein self-deletion, so you guys can have
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, walk through it, because this guy's talking crazy.
July 6th, 2019, Epstein is arrested at Teterboro Airport on trafficking charges. He's booked and
July
enters the
6th.
Metropolitan Correction Center in Manhattan.
Okay.
He's placed in a special housing unit for protective custody pending his trial. Obviously, for
Because he's a
someone
pedo.
risk, high profile, they don't
Oh
keep
no,
him in
yeah,
general
he's billionaire
population.
too.
Doesn't make sense to, and this is a high profile person. Boom. July 18th, bail is denied. All right, he's classified as a flight risk and a danger to the community. July 23rd, which is about 5 days, Epstein is discovered semi-conscious, hanging from a bedsheet in what appears to be his first self-deletion attempt. Now, from July 23rd,
and then they
when
put
he
him
tried
on
to harm
watch.
himself till July 29th,
He was on suicide watch, and he was, when you're on suicide watch, they're supposed to watch you for like, am I misremembering, for like 2 weeks? And then after a week, they just stopped. Like, it was a week into that. Like, they were supposed to be checking on him constantly because he was on suicide watch.
placed on full self-deletion watch, basically.
Yeah,
to take
yeah.
his own life. That's pretty normal to put yourself on watch. So he's observed in a designated cell to prevent self-harm.
Yeah.
After 6 days, a psychologist removes
Not-
him from.
Yeah, within a
watch
week.
and then
Yeah, yeah,
transferred
that's what I
back
thought.
to SHU under enhanced psychological observation. Protocols had required a cellmate and 30-minute guard checks, but these were inconsistently followed. So from July 29th, we fast forward to August 9th. Epstein's cellmate is transferred out and no new cellmate is assigned, a direct violation of protocol.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
August 10th,
That
Epstein
was a
returns
direct
to-
violation. He was supposed to have someone in there with him constantly, not alone. They're breaking protocol. The cameras weren't working. The people were asleep.
And appears upbeat. Overnight, cellmates gone. 2 guards falsify 30-minute check-ins and
Yeah.
are found asleep. 2 surveillance cameras malfunctioned.
Yep.
6:30 a.m. Again, this is the day after he met with his lawyer. Guards discover Epstein unresponsive and hanging from a bedsheet in his
Oh,
bunk.
wow.
9 minutes later, he's declared dead. So, a couple of things that were ignored. After he was put on watch, him put on watch for 6 days was a bit abnormal. Why? Because he attempted on his life and he's a high-profile person. So
Yeah.
generally, you're actually supposed to stay on watch normally a little bit longer than 6 days.
Like 2 weeks. I think I
Forget that.
remember.
About 10 days passed by and his cellmates removed. And the reason why that's odd is because generally if you take an attempt on your own life, they always put a cellmate beside you. Why? Because it's harder to take your own life if someone's always around. And this is like a special housing unit. So these are kind of units specifically for people who are at risk. They take the cellmate away so there's no
Yeah.
one to witness it. That's odd because it's not the protocol.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
The cameras malfunction.
To get started in data analytics, you
Oh,
don't need
government's
to
after us. They're trying to stop it. Trying to stop the flow. I'm not going to let them.
That's also odd because it's 2 different cameras. And 2 of the guards who were supposed to be on duty apparently were like browsing and shopping or asleep. So all these things kind of come together. What's more, the first time he attempted to take his life, apparently it was deleted, the footage of that first attempt.
What do you mean it was
due to
deleted?
technical
Oh, it was a
error.
technical
Isn't
glitch.
that
I forgot the
everyone's
technical
confident?
glitch, dude. I forgot the technical glitch. It's like they have a recording of him attempting it and they deleted it on accident. There's way too many coincidences. Like, is this a maximum security prison or is this someone's house that they're just freaking, I don't know, not professional at all, is what it seems.
That there's equipment malfunctions, that they don't follow protocol, and that he just so happens to receive a visit from his lawyer the day before he takes his own life. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of elements about this that are incredibly suspicious, and it kind of makes sense for a lot of people to worry because he was connected to a lot of powerful people. And with that in mind, I don't think it's that much of a crazy conspiracy to think that maybe his lawyer passed him a note. Because I don't actually believe someone went in there, took his life. I suspect that probably someone's like, listen, you ain't getting out. If you want your family to be okay, take your own life. We're going to make sure no one's around. We're going to make sure the cameras are out. Do it.
If I may, I think that there are so many people attached to it.
I mean, maybe.
For example, like you have
But
Brothers,
I
so
don't-
many rumors.
I don't think
about
so.
it. You have, like, and with Diddy and with Epstein, everything is so
Like, I would believe it if he did that and then they also arrested people. But the fact that he was killed or whatever happened, no, the fact that that's what we think, you know? We think that because no one's been arrested, like it was cut. He was our tie to figure out what the heck was going on. He was a person who was caught and then he was deleted, and nothing happened after that. So yeah, it kind of seems like it.
Intertwined, that it's hard to catch one person. And I do think that somewhere along the lines, like even on a PR level, there's some type of worry that if all of these names come out, it might like ruin a certain type of industry or not. I could be completely wrong, but it seems like there's almost like too many people that could be involved in this, that it would like
No, yeah, it's a whole
cause
thing.
some type of civil uproar, if you will. Like, I'm just thinking
That's what they're
extremes,
saying, and
but
that's
if
their
there's really,
argument
like, that
to get good
level
people
of
on
volume
board.
of million
Literally, that's how they keep good people on board, because good people would be like, "No, this is stupid. I can't do this. This is bad." But they'll say, "Nah, it'll cause a national unrest. We can't do it." But it's just a trick to keep them going along.
billionaires, and I'd like not to like pinpoint Oprah
Billionaires.
thing, like
But yeah,
I wonder
maybe
if Oprah was like, "There's a child under your seat. There's a child under your seat. There's a child
No,
everybody's
no, no.
I bet you Epstein's Island has like thematic nights.
Uh,
Like hide and peek, and it's just like looking under like.
There is evidence, apparently, that Epstein was like a foreign agent, like a Mossad agent.
Mossad, yeah. No, it's
There's a
Ghislaine.
form-
Ghislaine was.
Maxwell, I think.
Ghislaine's dad.
Is a former Mossad agent, and he.
Ghislaine's dad was in media
I watched the interview
over there,
and he
like
explains
propaganda.
how Epstein is.
Probably linked to all those.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's.
Ghislaine Maxwell like confirmed. Her dad.
Yes,
Yep, her dad.
He-
Yep,
yes,
yep.
Robert Maxwell was involved in Israeli
Also,
intelligence.
Yep.
not Ghislaine, c'est Ghislaine.
And in propaganda.
Really bothers me when they pronounce her name
Pas
Ghislaine.
Guilherme.
C'est Ghislaine.
Pas Guilherme.
Oh, ouais, tabarnak. I don't think the diddly dallying is like.
Oh,
I think it's,
no. You can't say those kind of words no
That's why
more.
I think none of the Democrats or the Republicans are concerned, and nobody
wants
this man alive, because like you saw the pictures, you saw who apparently from Bill Clinton to Trump to all these different billionaires to Prince Andrew. So
Yeah.
because it included so many people from all across the political aisle, it's just too much. So it was in everyone's best interest to see this guy get offed.
Yeah, yeah. Literally.
Anything about her. They have her in custody. They charged her. They found her guilty. Nobody else, which is crazy. Normally, a person like that who's been with so many influential people, you would think of flipping them, get information on others. They didn't try damn nothing.
The night shift, yeah, but no one can get in to the.
It would
cell.
cause
They got
worldwide
into the
unrest
cell
because of
gate.
how much
But we were
BS
told
and
that the
stuff's
cameras
going
were
on.
down. Well, I don't know who said that, but that was in the news. We're giving you all the footage we have.
So why wasn't that released like immediately?
Yeah.
Why did this speculation escalate?
I think you'd have to ask whoever the attorney general back then was, Bill Barr.
Did you ever see? Do you remember that HBO autopsy
Come on,
show?
man.
Dr. Michael Baden. He's a famous forensic. I don't think a scientist. So he's a pathologist, and he reviewed the case, and it was his determination that it was a homicide because of the way his
Yeah,
neck was
yeah.
broken.
Yeah, because
what
you.
he said was it was indicative of
I'll let him
ligature
talk.
strangulation. And
Yeah.
it was because of the positioning
Yep.
on the neck where the marks were, that it wasn't indicative of someone hanging by their weight, which had been higher
Yep.
on the chin. And there's a specific break of the bones and the vertebrae that's consistent with someone who is just strangled.
Strangled.
to death.
Yep.
I haven't
Yep,
seen
yep,
it.
yep.
I'll definitely take a look at it.
I haven't seen it. What do you mean you haven't seen it, dude? That's the stupidest thing ever, because that's the case. What do you mean? What did you investigate if you didn't check out the cameras? You didn't check out what the guards were saying? You don't know that was statements that they made. It's like he didn't even look at the case. What do you mean? What are you going to give us if you didn't investigate anything?
That's part.
Look at it. Look. He feels the same. Let's let him talk.
Are you the head?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
To none of these questions.
And you haven't looked into it.
This person, I don't know. You have to ask that person. Attorney General.
Yeah.
How do you even got this?
You guys got it right. They think we're stupid.
For people who work in the FBI, they're not allowed to answer a lot of these questions. So fine, but this administration came in saying we're going to release everything.
Yeah,
We're gonna
they
be
did. They did.
Give you guys everything. Which I'm like, then they show up and they're like, can't say that. Can't talk about this. I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of this. It's like, all right, bro. Just say you're going to do like everyone else. Then shut the fuck up.
Then don't go on the podcast then.
Yeah, why would you come on the podcast to try to downgrade everything?
Bro, do you think I would lie? Do you think I would?
Yeah, we think you'd lie.
tell me there's classified information.
Yeah, we're not we don't have that clearance. They can't tell us.
I did look up at this doctor's assessment. So one that he made, I looked up any contrasting opinions or if anyone shared it, and he's pretty much the only high-profile person who's talked about this case and said it's probably a homicide. Everyone else who looked at it said it looks like it's more likely self-deletion, meaning death by hanging. They talked about like the bone breaking. He says, yes, it's more common in homicides, but it's still very possible in hanging. So that's from what I read up online. But let's keep playing.
This guy was, like, this very well-respected forensic scientist who would analyze these bodies, and it was his determination that he was murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My job, going back to the core of what I've been doing since I studied Russiagate, was to get and is to get everybody the information.
When did you get here?
It went, shing! Oh no, he got proof.
No. Yeah. No, they got that right. Look at him.
When that screen lights up, right?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Here.
I didn't catch that.
This is what we call a war of experts. You can always find someone to come in and say the opposite.
Right.
And I used to do it all the time. I mean, I represented some of the worst humans that you can possibly imagine on Earth. Literally. The guys that were trafficking children from Mexico into America.
So you
Come
know
on, man.
about those cases, but not about the Epstein. Get the fuck out of my face, dude.
Yeah.
I'm insulted.
Yeah.
Do you think I would not tell you? Do you think I would not lie? I used to represent traffickers.
I used to represent
I used to help them
traffickers.
get off on
Yeah, seriously. Saying he used to be like the lawyer for all those kind of guys. Talking about he wouldn't withhold information. Come on.
Again, that's part of what I'm going to try to answer for you.
Jeffrey Epstein jail CCTV erased by technical errors. Whoopsies.
Whoopsies. I'm glad he pulled it up. I was actually getting worried that Joe wasn't going to press him at all.
I think this guy's not credible whatsoever. But it's really like that. They had this man who's connected to all the billionaires, had him in custody, had tapes of everything, and made 5 to 6 whoopsies in a row, and been like, "That's what happened. Believe us."
Yeah, no.
If Diddy dies,
No. If there was like 1 or 2 of these things, if like the security guards didn't do nothing, but we got the tapes, or if there's like so many different things. If at least the choke was in line with hanging yourself instead of strangulation, like there's so many different things that make no sense.
From like strangulation, I also would think that's suspicious personally. Like, he's a high-profile person, he's high at risk. You should be putting him under surveillance. If not under surveillance, he should have a bunkmate.
And we were all calling that he was going to be assassinated. We all said it.
Person who's very likely to take their own life. That's the kind of procedures that are standard. Again, I'm not the most conspiratorial person. I don't know about you guys. I'm just not somebody who's into conspiracies. I don't even think this is a conspiracy. Well, by definition, it is. But it's just
that has nothing to do with the fact that it's a conspiracy. It's so convenient. The lie is right there. It's just crazy. We know what you do for a living. 1 minute you say you can't say shit or you don't know, and then you talk to me about some other thing that's a little case that you know everything about. No.
Yeah.
Think about how crazy it is, right? This man was in prison for less than 3 weeks. Okay? Just zoom in on me for a second. Not too far.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously.
The best arrested Jeffrey Epstein. What's that? He tried to kill himself but failed. We put him on watch. What's that? He committed.
It was legit like that. It was between like a few weeks, 2-3 weeks, but yeah, it was legit like that. What's that?
There's no footage.
There's no footage.
All right, moving on. Oh my God, it is so crazy that he tries to take his own life, fails. They know about it. They put all these, and he still manages to do
Dude,
it.
I'm telling you. And then all they do is they say, hey, we're going to investigate it and do nothing and then wait for it to die down like a year later.
I think it's intentional.
Like they obfuscate until it dies down. Yeah, no. Yeah, that was ridiculous. So yeah, basically, I just want these guys to freaking calm their shit.
Donald Trump promised.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, I just wanted to go through that and see, because, yeah, they think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. But whatever. I'm not falling for it. Hopefully you guys don't either. But yeah, that's basically it. Peace.